For the second time in less than 3 weeks, Phil Vetrano, his family, their friends, and supporters came here to Queens Criminal Court to face Chanel Lewis, the man who's been charged with murdering Karina Vetrano in Howard Beach, Queens on August 2nd. Now, Lewis actually wasn't in court today. He waived his appearance, and instead, his lawyers and the Queens DA's office worked out a schedule going forward with his next court date, April 3rd. Now, the brief proceedings ended really quickly, and Phil Vetrano and his family left quickly, but this gave us another opportunity to get to know the Lewis family, the other family in this tale. Chanel Lewis's father, mother, and siblings, and they were represented by some community advocates.
We are making sure that we're saying loud and clear that we want due process, we want fairness, we want complete fairness for Chanel.
Now, contrary to some of the earlier statements made by Lewis's mother and sisters, which talked of a massive NYPD frame-up and questioned the DNA evidence in this case, today, Mrs. Lewis and Chanel Lewis's father, Richard, said nothing, choosing only to let the advocates say some sort of more restrained statements about keeping an eye on the process going forward and wanting everything to be fair. Now, I had to ask the people there, what did they believe so far that might have been unfair?
So this is a church-going individual. He's never been arrested before. So how can you call someone a demon that never been in the system before? If you look at him, you'll see a gentleman that has a heart. That's right. You have a gentleman that has a spirit. You see a gentleman that has somewhat of more respect, that respected all people. So the process must be due not just in the media, but also in the courtroom and also with the NYPD.
I got to know Phil Vetrano fairly well, respect him greatly, and have a sense of how badly he feels the horror that's come into his life over the past 6 months since his daughter's death. I only got to speak to Richard Lewis briefly, but I can tell that he's a very proud man, very dignified man, a man with great education, and I can tell that this whole ordeal is hurting him too. And I gotta wonder how much media coverage is playing into the pain that another family is feeling after the same incident that's transfixed the city and the region.
Can I ask you, Alex, what was there was a confession or a half confession, or what's the story behind that?
Well, according to police and the criminal complaint that we've obtained, Lewis, during his interview, made statements that, according to police, were incriminating, that placed him in that area. And the DNA evidence also seems to be the main thing that the police are relying on for this case going forward.
All right, thanks, Alex.